Howdy, everybody. It looks like I'm gonna be going ahead and explaining the good old pentagram. You know how we fucking Satanists love this shit. Now, granted, people can call me a fucking Satanist or whatever. Honestly, well, I suppose I am. But if my left hand's shaking, I'm caffeinated as hell, just now. So whenever it comes to this circle right here, this is representation of spirit, the beginning and end of everything. And this line, it follows suit directly in this. And the reason why it's traced in this fashion is because everything begins and ends in spirit. Whenever it comes to doing any ritualistic workings in invocation or evocation, you would do it the opposite if it's evocation, I would believe. If that is right, and I believe it starts from this element, calling forth the spirits of the earth. And it would be traced like this. Now, granted, I think that's for the banishing element, if I'm not mistaken. So whenever it comes to the element of fire and that line going towards this way, this is essentially the knowledge of good and evil, the first act of separation, in which one is thrown into the tests and trials beyond the circumstances in which they were deemed comfortable. And then it follows this line right here to the element of air, which is the place of insight. And whenever it comes to insight from any circumstances in which you've been through, the only way you could behold them is if you're in an impersonal mode in which you're not defining the situation as personal. And then it travels over here to the water element, in which this is sort of like the washing away and the bathing. This is the signifier of washing away the old. And then it pretty much topples down, since the water is the element of emotions. It's essentially washing away the past. And whenever you follow this line right here, you get to the element of earth, which it's concreted into shape, the transformation. And then you follow this line back to the synonym of spirit once again. So the whole point of this pentagram, it's actually supposed to signify the transformation of ourselves, but can also be used as well for different spirits depending upon the elements, and which, depending upon which element they're gathered around, is exactly the part of which you're going to start from. And you're going to be tracing it along the lines like this. Now, granted, if you're doing it backwards, it's for banishing. Because whenever it comes to anything that goes back, it's essentially going back to the spring of first becoming. So for right now, this is going to be what I specified for this moment. I'm actually going to be using this for a ritual at full moon, in which I'm going to be doing something for the collective, of which is watching me. Now, for those of whom are very religious or just don't like the idea of, well, being part of a group, right, that's fine. You can happily just skip the next video of the ritual that I will be doing on that date. And if you're happy to ask questions, then I, by all means, suggest that you do so. And have a good one, brothers and sisters. And yes, time to really get serious.